This is Scotty Reed again with Black Talk Radio News, broadcasting on the Black Talk Radio Network. Now, today, actually yesterday would be the 5th. I said that I was going to share this voicemail that was left on our studio line that we use for the radio station, Black Talk Radio. And so I got this voicemail message yesterday, and I meant to play it on the program because I want to use it as a teaching tool. Well, anyway, what I want to talk about is just disrespect. The disrespect that we show each other, that we show other people. Now, some people, they ain't worth respecting, so, I give you that. But, for example, we just had Dr. Frances Cress Welsing pass away. You had two well-known individuals talk bad about certain aspects of her work and what she taught on homosexuality. And these two individuals didn't even give people time to mourn. All right, they have not even had Dr. Welsing's funeral yet. She ain't even in the ground. And already you got people coming out trying to discredit her and I guess score points, with the gay community. Well, anyway, this call is in that same vein in terms of being disrespectful. Now, I think that this is a black person, a black man that called into our station and left a voicemail yesterday, and it was just so disrespectful. And I'm just going to go ahead and cue it up and let you listen to it. But I mean, just listen to the disrespect that this man is heaping upon the entire Black Talk Radio Network family, because Black Talk Radio Network is more than just Scotty Reed. So I'm going to let y'all hear this. Let me cue this clip up for you. This came in yesterday on our voicemail, and he left a voicemail.
Yes, my name is Donald Bell, Black American electrical engineer. My company's name is Soul Brother Electric, and what my company has done, along with the age of two of my daughters who are very young, they are 10 and 11 years of age, but it is that these two young girls are mentioned all over the internet now, and that the three largest Chinese cell phone companies are attempting to work a license deal out with them, and the license deal is valued at over $1 billion. So I don't understand what you all have to talk about other than just moving forward. All of this crying and begging is not anything that actually will bring about but more crying and begging. So if you all really want to know what the real deal is, I will look you all email address up and send you all an email that shows over the internet that my two very young daughters are having all these big powerful people around the world lick their butts. And I can tell you that includes CNN and WBAP and whatever all these W's and NBCs are. And I just need to say that there is no reason for all of this crying and begging and licking and blaming folks. Just do what you have to do, man. Just bottom line. So we have designed the world's first self-charging cell phone. Big deal. We are now having major Chinese cell phone manufacturers want to do a 10-year license agreement with us, and it's not a cheap thing. So I think that maybe you all like complaining against the white man and all this. This is the way you all do it. So, but anyway, if you want to get into some real conversation about what we can do to make some real money, make some real economic change around the world in our favor, you can give me a call. My name is Don Bell. My company name is Soul Brother Electric, and my phone number, my direct phone number, this number is
So that's the voicemail. Now, is it just me, or was that just disrespectful? Now, how do you start a relationship with someone? You called me, you called our station, and you start off with disrespecting them and saying that they crying and they complaining and you know, come on, man, come on. Is that how you start dialogue? And why you want to talk to us? If you got all these powerful people trying to lick your behind, if CNN and MSNBC and all of them is beating down your door for Soul Brother Electric, which I couldn't find nothing on the internet about, why are you calling into our little small digital radio station insulting us like that? Now, I can tell you don't even listen to the station. You don't listen to any of the programming, because I don't know whose program you was listening to that they was crying and they was whining and they was complaining. You know, who was you listening to? Okay? Now, as far as us begging anybody, we don't beg, all right? We ask for donations. We are a North Carolina-based nonprofit registered with the state. We are a nonprofit media company, just like PBS, public broadcasting system, just like NPR, National Public Radio, which they also solicit their viewers and their listeners for donations to fund their media operations. And so, is we begging by doing the same thing? No, we don't beg. You know, as a nonprofit, I could apply for grants from different organizations like the Ford Foundation or Arthur T. Viney Foundation or Bill Gates or any of those people or organizations, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Look, we don't apply for any grants. We don't ask them for anything. We don't apply for state grants. We don't look for federal grants. No, that's not us. We are listener-funded radio. We provide a service, a digital radio station called Black Talk Radio Network, where you'll hear black people talking about social, political, spiritual issues from a black perspective. Why you got a problem with that? And I can tell you don't listen to the station if you think that we just whine and complaining. We got a lot to complain about. You know, whenever somebody is harming you, if you don't complain, something wrong with you. Maybe you like suffering in silence. Now, me personally, I am not suffering. I'm not suffering. I'm not in prison. I don't plan on going to prison. I eat every day. I got a roof over my head. I'm not complaining about anybody doing anything to me, but I know that a state of injustice exists not only in this country ruled by USA Inc., a corporation incorporated in 1871, but the entire planet. I was just reading an article where they were talking about 90% of the United States drone program missed intended targets and killed scores of civilians. And those are the things that we talk about. We talk about the fact that over 1,000 people in 2015 have been killed by cops. And me personally, I talk about not only the black people being killed, I talk about the Hispanic people being killed, I talk about the Native Americans being killed, and I talk about the white people being killed by police, because we live in a police state. We inform people through New Abolitionist Radio to the fact that the 13th Amendment does not abolish slavery, and that they're still practicing slavery, that is not mass incarceration, but it is a continuation of slavery in another form. How in the world do you have a country with 5% of the world population and 25% of the prison labor force? And yes, many of those people are put to work, especially in the private prisons and jails, and pay a slave wage if they paid anything at all. You got children being raped in these prisons, and we're supposed to just be quiet about that and get with you because you Soul Brother, Mr. Soul Brother Electric, who I can't find nothing about on the internet, allegedly has this $1 billion a licensing agreement pending with China's largest cell phone carriers. Well, why are you not getting with people in Africa where all those raw mineral resources needed to create technology and electronics and whatnot? All of that comes out of Africa. I'm saying Nigeria. Nigeria got a bunch of millionaires there. They got all that oil wealth coming out the ground. Surely, if they saw merit in your project or your invention or whatever it is that you have, you wouldn't have any trouble attracting investors. And look, we are not going to buy our way out of racism and white supremacy. All right. Now, we have had programs where we talk about collective economics. There's a new movement. Maybe you ain't never heard about it because you don't listen to our programming, but Let's Buy Black 365, where that is where we're asking black people to support black businesses so that the black businesses can hire black people in their community so we don't have to be begging nobody else for a job. I just did a video interview with Mr. Marlon Adams of culturalgrassroots.com, where we were talking about crowdfunding and the new Security and Exchange Commission rules that will allow people not to just be donors, but to be investors in business to fund the type of things that you are talking about. So we're making moves and we're talking about all different types of solutions. But $1 billion ain't gonna stop a bullet on the street. If you are indeed a black man, $1 billion is not gonna save you from being stopped and frisked in certain areas in this country. It's not gonna save you from driving while black, okay? And matter of fact, we have highlighted some cases of some black men who developed some technology for the U.S. government, all right, so that their computer systems could talk to each other and whatnot. Now, I personally didn't too much feel those brothers because they was helping the system of injustice track down and enslave even more people to put them on a prison plantation so they could be hired out to corporations or work for Unicor, the federally owned corporation that uses prison slave labor to produce products and services. But we highlighted their case. They were just like you. All right, they're gonna make a whole bunch of money. And then guess what? It appears they got caught up in some sort of fraudulent activity, and now they are prisoners. Now, we did their case once when their advocates reached out to us, and so we highlighted that case. But as I started to learn more about it, I just wasn't interested in highlighting their case, because they are on the prison plantation where they was trying to help the U.S. government catch more 21st century slaves. And so again, I'm not interested in calling you. The people who had your number, they won't do business with you if they think you legit and you might make $1 billion. Well, maybe they want to go big into you for some money, but we do not. You don't impress me, okay? You don't impress me. You're disrespectful. You don't start no dialogue with people by insulting people. Who does business like that? Who makes friends like that? So I don't know what your issue is, and I feel sorry for your daughters. I feel sorry for your daughters. I don't know how old you are. You sound like, well, I can't tell from how you sound, but I'm 49 years old, and I just feel sorry for your daughters. I feel sorry for your daughters because you teaching them that their worth is measured in how many dollars they can generate. Okay, I'm not that type of person. The Black Talk Radio Network family, we're not those type of people. All right, and we don't care how much money you have. We're not coming to you asking you for anything. The only thing we ask for is people that consume our media, that think that we're providing a valuable service of independent black media for black people, by black people, not controlled by any advertisers or white corporations or any government streams, because we don't take government grants. So that's what we're about. We ain't begging nobody for nothing. And if you want to call it complaining, well, technically we do complain, but we got a lot of legitimate stuff to complain about. And I'll close it out with this. For those people who think that the answer to solving the problem of a global system of racism and white supremacy, all right, if you think that's the answer, I'm going to let you hear from Mr. Neely Fuller, and he'll have the last word.
What is racial showcasing? That means taking huge numbers of black people and putting them out front. There's going to be more of this all over the planet. Many millions of black people that you will see who will be rolling in money. They'll be able to showcase the places where they live. They'll be able to showcase their knowledge and expertise. So you have television now, you have all of the mediums for doing this, for showcasing huge numbers of black people. I will say it will eventually run into the millions, so many that you won't be able to count them. Now, what is this for? This is for any black person that starts talking about racism in the future is going to be laughed at, because they're going to be able to showcase so many black people who are what you call quote unquote successful, that it will seem that racism has been put out of business. But white supremacy is a world business, and like any other business, it works on profits and losses, which means percentages. You go into business, you expect a certain amount of loss. If you're in the grocery business, well, you might have a load of asparagus that is spoiled. But overall, you will make more profits than you have losses if you're going to stay in the business. Now, so the white supremacists know that the cost of doing the business of white supremacy is going up. They can no longer get away with Joe Louis and Lena Horne like they did years ago. They have to have many more black people who are going to be showcased. I made up this term just to explain it. You have to make up terms, because they won't make them up for you. So now that's the first phase, or one of the first elements in the maximum confusion. And so that black people won't be able to say, they'll say, well, you know, it must be something wrong with me, that I'm down and out and don't have a biscuit to eat, because there are so many millions of black people who have so much, so it can't be a race. But see, for the 4 or 5 million black people who will be showcased, there will be hundreds of millions worldwide who won't have a biscuit. That's the way the business operates in the future, and will be. That's the way it seems to be going, according to what? The evidence, according to the logic.
And with that, you have a blessed life, Mr. Soul Brother Electric. This is Scotty Reed, Black Talk Radio News, Black Talk Radio Network. I'm out.